really encourage people, and I think it's gotten a little bit better now that there's so much social media available. Also, we have equipped all of our animal control officers with radios, telephones, microchip scanners, computers, so that they can really try to research, and if they go out to find a lost pet, if they find, or if they're just roaming and they see lost pets, they can try to take them directly home rather than bringing them into the shelter. So we would really encourage anyone who loses a pet to remember that most pets are lost close to home, will be found close to home. So the first thing I would do is get on my cell phone and call or text all my neighbors and say, hey, I lost Fluffy, can you please be on the lookout? And then I would go to Nextdoor, Facebook groups, look in my local area for anyone who might have found my pet, and then there are other larger platforms like Paw Boost and Petco Love Lost where you can search for lost pets or post found pets. So those are some resources in addition to, of course, checking your local shelter, and at Pasadena Humane we update our list of found animals every hour, so please be sure to look there too. And then, if you don't find your pet that night, the next day go out, post flyers, and just don't give up, because we have found pets that have been reunited with their owners even years after being lost.
That's the thing. Keep looking. Yes, exactly. I know I hate that when people are like, oh, I lost my dog 4 years ago. I'm like, I hope you still have posters up, right? So I hope you still look, because that dog or whatever is coming back home. Dia, have a wonderful 4th of July, and to you and everybody who does such a fantastic job at Pasadena Humane.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. I hope you have a great holiday as well.
All right, thanks. Talk to you soon. That is Dia Zavernette. She is the president and CEO of the Pasadena Humane Society. I love her. I want to be her. When we come back, we'll talk with KFI's house whisperer, Dean Sharp, and we're going to get a little spacey with Dean. Spacey in the sense of how much room do I need for certain things in my house. Nick Paliocchini, these are things that I wish I knew before I moved into a house, because I think I would have said, tear down that wall. I need more space for that room. So we'll talk about that in just a second. Right now, though, let's find out why it's slow on the 5 in Commerce.
Got some patch delays right now, Jen, on the northbound side as folks are making their way from Sloss and continuing out past 710 out of East LA through Boyle Heights. 5 northbound as you make your way toward the 101. Definitely looking busy for your drive. Nothing in lanes, just busy morning drive for you there. Same story for the 10 west end. Dino Freeway, seeing a bit of a rush go for you. Heading westbound on the 10 as you're approaching the 5. And also ongoing major problems for you in the Inland Empire through the Temescal Valley portion of Corona. Southbound 15, it is all lanes shut down for your drive. 15 southbound at Temescal Canyon. You're being diverted off of Temescal Canyon Boulevard, which would be your alternate to the 15 included with Ontario Avenue. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Nick Paliocchini. Hey y'all, Dean Sharp. Before I get with Jen here, I've been telling you about how WDC Kitchen and Bath Center has pricing and appliances in stock that you're not going to be able to find anywhere else in Southern California. And right now, for even more savings, it's time for the WDC Independence Day sale. They've got up to 40% off select appliance brands, 25 to 50% off select bath and plumbing fixtures, and 18-month no-interest financing. And if that's not enough, right now until noon on the 1st, any purchase over $3.99 automatically enters you to win a legendary Big Green Egg Grill. The Big Green Egg demo team is at the Agora Hills showroom today from 11:30 to 5, so come see what makes the green egg so amazing. All WDC locations are going to be closed on the 4th, but that's not going to matter because you're already home with all your great deals and quite possibly grilling away on a Big Green Egg. For more details and to find the WDC nearest you, go to WDCappliances.com, WDCappliances.com.
SoCal weather from KFI. We do have a warm day ahead, but as I mentioned earlier in the week, we've got this cooling trend that's happening. So mostly sunny today. Highs will be from the 70s at the beaches, upper 70s to right around 80 for Orange County and Metro LA. Upper 80s to low 90s for the valleys in the IE, but those inland highs should all be in the 80s by Sunday and Monday, your 4th of July. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Erwin, doesn't that patriotic music fill you with pride?
No, Larry, it fills me with dread.
Why?
Because I know what's coming next. You crazy Sin Sleep Independent Sales discounts.
But Erwin, Sit and Sleep's independent sale is our chance to help people celebrate living and sleeping in the best country in the world.
Right, Dad. So during Sit and Sleep's independent sale, you can save up to $1,000 on select mattresses from Sealy, Beauty Rest, and Kingsdown.
$1,000 off? Thanks, Drew. I already had your dad driving me nuts, but now I've got it in stereo.
We're even taking up to $500 off two of the best sleep brands, Temper Breeze mattresses and Purple Sleep Systems.
I'm turning purple.
Plus, with your good credit, pay 0% financing for 24 months with your minimum monthly payment.
All I can say is you're killing me, Larry, and you're not helping either, Drew.
So this Independence holiday, trust your sleep to Sit and Sleep.
And remember, Sit and Sleep will beat anyone's advertised price or your mattress is free.
We know you can't get enough of your favorite flavors. Luckily, Ralph's free pickup makes it easy to grab what you need without any surprise fees. Whether it's extra buns for the barbecue or the chips you just can't quit, start your cart with the Ralph's app. Ralph's, fresh for everyone. $35 order minimum. Restrictions may apply, subject to availability.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with cards. Ralph's, fresh for everyone.
Did you know fixing outdoor leaks can save 27 to 90 gallons of water per day? Even tiny leaks can be huge water wasters. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more water-saving tips. Let's all do our part. Save water. Save California.
This is Jacob Emrani. If you've been in an accident, call 844-24-JACOB.
KFI.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
More stimulating talk.
Hey, old Steam Sharp, a backup generator for your home or your business. Should you get one? I don't know. Well, I can tell you this. Losing power means losing the internet, the fridge, and the AC, all exactly when you need them the most. And at work, you're going to lose data, and you're going to lose revenue. A generator costs way less than the alternative. So when you need a new generator, or you need to keep an old one running reliably, the answer is Duffy Power. Home or business, the answer to the generator question is always Duffy Power. To learn more, go to DuffyPower.com, DuffyPower.com.
Governor Newsom has signed a nearly $308 billion budget that includes $9.5 billion in refund for taxpayers to ease high gas prices. That's one of our top stories this morning. Thanks for joining me. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This is your wake-up call. Now, California's annual gas tax has gone up 3 cents. We pay more than anyone else in the country for gas. Did you know that? Exactly. A gallon of regular averages between $6 and $7 a gallon. I'm concerned. Poison has canceled a show in Nashville because lead singer Bret Michaels has been admitted to the hospital. Here's the deal with Bret Michaels. There's no word right now on what the health problem may be, but he's had big issues in the past. He's been dealing with a form of diabetes. He had a brain hemorrhage and a mini stroke. Poison is on tour this summer with Def Leppard, Motley Crue, and Joan Jett. And a lot of people will be watching this weekend. Netflix has crashed all around the world because hordes of people were trying to stream the latest episodes of Stranger Things. The second part of season 4 dropped at midnight, and shortly afterward, Netflix went down hard in lots of places around the world, including Australia, India, and yes, the U.S. News is brought to you by veteran-owned Semper Solaris. Dean Sharp, good morning to you. Are you a Stranger Things fan?
You know what? We hung on for the first couple of seasons, and then we just sort of lost our way.
I haven't even started. I know Tyler, I think, will not be my friend anymore. But I haven't even begun. But the people who have just think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a lot of fun.
All right, Dean Sharp, you can follow Dean on social media at Home with Dean. Also listen to him tomorrow morning from 6 to 8 and Sunday 9 to 11. Let's get a little spacey, Dean. Because when you go into somebody's house, a lot of times you're like, gosh, this is the smallest bathroom I have ever been in, and my knees are up under my chin right now.
Yeah, it's a problem that a lot of people have. You know, I get angry at designers and architects when they make big mistakes and they ignore critical dimensions that they for clearances that they need to be obeying. It's their job to do that. I don't get angry at DIYers, but I try my best to let people know that, you know, if you're going to DIY your own design for your remodel or your renovation, there are some really important dimensions for clearances out there that DIY designers usually mess up. You know, there are about 3 categories, I should say, of things. There are code-required clearances built into it. It gets very complicated. There are standards, just conventional standards and practices that have been around so long they feel like code. And then there are just things where we need to obey the law of human ergonomics, right? But all of them are really, really important for a house.
I would think that you have to start with code, because wouldn't you have to knock that off the list first?
Yeah, you can't break the code or you're really in trouble. For instance, a lot of people, when they're trying to get more room out of their bathroom, they're going to be tempted to put the squeeze on the toilet as far as the space around the toilet. But there are some codes around the toilet that absolutely have to be obeyed. For instance, a toilet from the center line of the toilet to the left and to the right, nothing gets near or can get near that toilet within 15 inches. So a toilet needs a 30-inch space clear all by itself. No tub, no shower, no vanity counter, nothing to the left or right for 15 inches from the center line in both directions. And then at least 22 to 24 inches in front of it for, you know, these things we call legs. You gotta have room in front of the toilet to put your feet and your legs. Funny enough, so that's the code. Now, how about spreading out and giving the toilet more room? I mean, lots of room. Well, weirdly enough, there's no code about how big an area around a toilet can be, but there is a really important sort of law of human ergonomics, and that is when we are, how should we say, in a vulnerable position, like sitting down on something with our pants down.
Yeah, fair enough.
We do not, kind of evolutionarily, you know, we don't like a whole lot of space around us. So whether you are living in a little tract home or whether you're one of our estate clients, you know, with tens of thousands of square feet of home, you have to really twist my arm as your designer to give you more than about 36 inches for a water closet. You know, a water closet is a private little closet for just the toilet. I don't like to do those wider than 36 inches because you get beyond that and you just start feeling weird. Just weird. I was on Conway last night and I explained to him, I said, imagine if you have all the money in the world, I mean, just literally, and you just want to show off your house, like a 100,000 square foot house, and you decide, you know, the water closet's going to be the size of a basketball gymnasium. And I'm just going to put a toilet right in the center of that floor all by... Now, think about this, Jen. The room is locked, it's totally private, totally secure, okay? And you're in there alone. Would you feel comfortable sitting on the toilet in the middle of a basketball court?
Absolutely not.
No, you wouldn't, right?
No way.
So that's not code. That's just human nature. We, you know, when we are vulnerable like that, we want to be snugged in.
Absolutely. Okay, so I was looking at your list, countertop. What is it? I mean, I'm confused on space for countertops. First, let's start with the code. So let's start with the basics.
Okay, countertop height. That's something really confusing because this is a standard across the globe at this point, in the West at least. 36 inches. 36 inches is the standard height for a countertop, but it's not code. The International Building Code has no code requirement for the height of a countertop. It has just been the standard and practice for so long. That's how they're built. But these days, you know, Westerners have, on average, grown a bit in height since 150 years ago when this was kind of first established. Now, some haven't. You may not have particularly grown. My Sicilian wife has not grown very tall. But I do say, so here's the thing, Jen. If you're already going to spend, you know, the tens of thousands of dollars to remodel a kitchen, for instance, You really should think about the countertop height and mixing it up a bit so that everybody who really spends time in the kitchen is comfy. Here's what the American Culinary Institute says. You're going to have to check this out and measure your optimal when you're done with the show today.
Okay.
Standing fully upright, just no bend in your back whatsoever. Fully comfortably upright. Arms at your sides. Bend your arms, your elbows at 90 degrees.
Okay.
And then measure down from your bent elbow down to the floor. Whatever that dimension is, okay? Take 4 inches off of it, and that is the optimal countertop height for a prep counter for you. 4 inches below your bent elbow. Okay? Now, for me, I'm 6'3". For me, that means the optimal prep countertop height is 42 inches, not 36 inches. 42. And let me tell you, a countertop that high, for me, means that I can spend the entire day in the kitchen and walk out without that sore lower back because I've been bent over just ever so slightly all day long. But my wife is a foot shorter than I am. So what we've done is we've mixed it up. Our kitchen counters around the perimeter of our kitchen are 36. They're normal. In the island in the center, we've compromised. Instead of going the full 42 for Dean or lower for Tina, we've settled at about 40 inches. It's not too high for her. She really enjoys it. And for me, you know what? It makes all the difference in the world.
I never even noticed that about your kitchen, but you are absolutely right. And you can switch it up because, you know, not all couples, obviously, like the two of you illustrate, are the same height. So, yeah, that makes absolute sense. All right, when it comes to chandeliers, and I would assume this means any, not just the ones with the crystals on it, but we refer to lighting now as a lot of, I've seen like iron ones be called chandeliers.
Yeah, chandelier, any hanging light that draws attention to itself, that's designed to draw attention to itself, that is hanging from the ceiling and is made to say, hey, look at me, and isn't just lighting and hiding away, okay? We could call that a chandelier of sorts, a hanging fixture.
Okay, so how high is that supposed to be above your, say, dining room table? I know that's when my electrician came over, I really didn't know what the heck I wanted or how high I wanted it. I just knew that I didn't want it to bump my head. But like you, he was about 6'4" or so, and he goes, yeah, but you not bumping your head is kind of not the point. Me not bumping my head is kind of the point. So,
well, if it's hanging over a table, so nobody's really going to bump their head on it per se. But the rule is this, and again, it's not code. This is a convention that has kind of been widely accepted. Over a dining room table, let's say, a chandelier should hang about 32 to 34 inches above the tabletop to the bottom of the chandelier. That's if you have an 8-foot ceiling. If you have a higher ceiling, you can add an additional 3 inches of height above the table for every foot your ceiling is higher than 8 feet.
Hold on, do that one more time.
So let's start at 8-foot ceiling.
Okay.
Let's just say 34 inches.
Okay.
9-foot ceiling, add 3 inches.
Got it.
10-foot ceiling, add 3 inches more.
Okay.
Every foot your ceiling is higher, add another 3 inches.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. And then when it comes to how high in an entry, how does that differ from over the table?
Well, there's absolutely no rule. Now we're worried about bumping our heads and stuff. And this is what I got to say. I would say probably 80% of the consults that I go on, entry hanging fixtures are too low. Usually, if you've got a hanging fixture in your entry, it means you have a vaulted ceiling in your entry, or you have a high ceiling in the entryway, not just an 8-foot ceiling. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a chandelier hanging in your entry because everybody's going to hit their head on it.
Right.
So, assuming that you've got a high entry, here's the thing: that chandelier has got to start at least 8 feet off the ground. Okay? The reason is, a guy like me should not be able to reach up and touch it. It needs to be up there, because if you have a vaulted ceiling, give me a reason to look up. Don't hang the chandelier so low that it's right there in front of my face, because here's the thing. Whatever you hang in a vaulted ceiling, wherever that thing is hanging, that's where the real psychological ceiling is. So your chandelier hanging too low can negate that volume, because we're very lazy visually. I look up at 7.5 feet, and there's your chandelier. I won't look up any higher. I'm not going to enjoy your vaulted ceiling. Hang that chandelier 10 feet up there. Make me look up.
Dean, I love these things. I never even thought about that. But yeah, it really does. It's kind of your line of sight. And okay, and right there at the end of the chandelier, that's the end of the ceiling. I'm going to listen this weekend because these are things that they're so everyday, and yet they would make such a big difference to raise or lower something just a little bit might make a huge difference in your back or how people come in and see your house. This is good stuff. So
Game changers.
Absolutely. 6 to 8 tomorrow morning, 9 to 11 on Sunday. You and Tina have an awesome 4th of July weekend.
You too, Jen.
Thanks. See you later, Dean. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk with ABC's Aaron Katursky. So we're all getting together again. COVID be damned, apparently. Large gatherings. Oh, and now, you might not be concerned about COVID, but are you concerned about potential terrorism? The Department of Homeland Security just kind of wants you to stay vigilant, I guess, this 4th of July weekend. We'll get into that with Aaron in just a second. Let's get back to that mess on the 15.
Taking over to the Temescal Valley area of Corona. Southbound side at Temescal Canyon is still all southbound lanes that aren't shut down. That's packed in tight breeze come away from Cajalco. 15 northbound also seeing a rough go for your drive from Indian Tuck Trail to make your way toward Temescal Canyon. Ontario Avenue, which becomes Temescal Canyon, is your alternate to the 15. Save you a bit of time this morning, and it's kind of the frontage road to the 15, if you will. As you make your way westbound along the 91 Riverside to Corona, starting to see some light patchy delays show up from before Magnolia as you make your way past, heading toward the 241 toll road. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Nick Poliokini.
I'm an American today because of my paternal grandfather. Hello, I'm John Okoyan, founder of Rooter Hero Plumbing and Air. My grandfather escaped the tyranny in Armenia, moved to California, and sent for us. This great country took us in and gave us sanctuary. I'm grateful every day for the brave men who carved out our Constitution. Things are tough right now, and we're being tested. Despite all this, there's no place I'd rather be. This month, let's show Lady Liberty, even though she's under duress, we stand beside her. I want to take a moment to thank you for trusting Rooter Hero Plumbing and Air with your most valuable asset, your home. Call us at 866-DRAIN-77 and we'll cable your drain or give you an AC unit safety check for only $77. That's 866-DRAIN-77. Thank you. Yeah, 102-8886/996688.
This report is sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem Blue Cross and the LA Sparks have teamed up to increase access to healthy food in a Los Angeles food desert. Visit anthem.com/ca/sparks to learn more about their new student-run produce garden for families in South LA. Anthem Blue Cross is the trade name of Blue Cross of California.
This is Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by News Nation.
On the first day of free agency, the Lakers landed several role players, including former Spurs guard Lonnie Walker IV. The Clippers re-signed Nick Batum and Amir Kofi. Both teams reportedly still have their sights on Nets guard Kyrie Irving. The Dodgers beat the Padres thanks to 2 Justin Turner home runs, and USC and UCLA blindsided the Pac-12 and announced they're bolting for the Big Ten in 2 years. I'm Misty Jordan.
Want the news without the noise? News Nation is news for all America, reporting all sides, no spin and no agendas. Go to newsnationnow.com/join us to find News Nation on your television provider.
Contractor license 1023-790. When your AC breaks down, call Gettle. Digital Duncan works on every brand of air conditioner. When we hook up Digital Duncan, playtime is over. Digital Duncan doesn't guess. Digital Duncan knows what's wrong. When your AC breaks down, call Gettle. Digital Duncan works on every brand of air conditioner, even yours. Buy a new Gettle AC today and we'll install it tomorrow. Gettle, GOE-TTL. We'll keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
There are no limits to what we can do together. So let's keep rising, California. Get vaccinated and get boosted to keep your immunity strong. Wear a mask when it can protect you and others. Find a vaccine at myturn.ca.gov.
1877 cards for kids. KARS cards for kids.
donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title? No problem. With gas prices at all-time highs, now's the time to donate.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
With your donation, you'll receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher, so donate today.
Make this the year you go to our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com.
A weekend full of superstar performances, never seen before collaboration, and once-in-a-lifetime moments you'll have to see to believe.
Friday, September 23rd and Saturday the 24th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
Our 2022 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Buy your tickets now at AXS.com.
Portions of the following program will be recorded.
Amazon will allow Alexa, hello, to speak to you in the voice of your deceased loved one.
Somehow you have their voice.
You need a 1-minute
Yeah, all you need, and then I can just imagine, all of a sudden my mother talking to me.
Bill Handel.
That's the response.
Mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI.
Best wishes going out to Bret Michaels, lead singer of Poison, admitted to the hospital. He was on tour in Nashville with Def Leppard, Motley Crue, and Joan Jett. No word on what he was admitted for, but he has had a brain hemorrhage and a mini stroke in the past, so best of luck to him. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This is your wake-up call. Some of the stories we're watching in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. LA County's public health director says there's been an increase in the number of people with COVID-19 needing to be admitted to the hospital. She says that increases the chance of indoor mask mandates going back into effect by the end of the month. Also, we're keeping an eye, obviously, on the budget that the governor signed. And in this case now, it means it's a $308 billion budget that includes $9.5 billion in refund for taxpayers to ease high gas prices. And today, California's annual gas tax is up 3 cents. We now have gas at $6.27 a gallon. Also, I just learned WNBA player Brittany Griner has gone on trial in Russia on drug charges. And we could make a lot of puns for this story that's coming up. And I'll tell you about it after ABC's Aaron Katursky. But it's about a hot dog restaurant in Nashville offering a free milkshake to certain people who do certain things. And UCLA and USC are both leaving the Pac-12 conference to join the Big Ten. And both schools say the move set for a year after next is the best thing for the athletes. Aaron Katursky, good morning to you. A lot of people are thinking, woo, finally, I'm going to get out there. I'm not afraid of COVID anymore. So we've got all these big, large gatherings planned. We talked, AAA talking about this being one of the biggest weekends for travel that we've seen in almost 20 years. But that also comes with large gatherings, and with large gatherings come a bit of a fear, especially with the Department of Homeland Security.
Well, we've gotten a look at a couple of different threat assessments from the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security, and they're just taking a look at the picture around the country, Jen. And we've talked about, hot-button social issues in the context of Supreme Court opinions that have driven passions high, and with that comes the potential for violence. And they're taking a look specifically at the New York City fireworks on July 4th, the Macy's fireworks here, and then also they have the San Diego fireworks in mind, the big boom in San Diego, and that those are two kinds of big, large-scale events that remain attractive targets.
Why specifically those areas, I guess I should ask?
Well, they're looking at all of them, I think, and then we just happen to get a look at the bulletins for those two events. But any big-scale event like that is a possible target for a foreign terrorist group. More concerning lately, domestic extremists on the far left and far right who are using any excuse they can find to incite violence and infiltrate legitimate protests, and lone offenders. We're not that far off from Buffalo and Uvalde. And if there is an opportunity for the public to just be aware, or if they're poking around online and they see, some kid talking about shooting up a school, maybe this time it'll actually get flagged.
It's a definite see something, say something time. And you're right, when you look at the news cycle that we've been in, whether it be the school shootings or whether it be politically, there are plenty of people who are very mad at the world right now.
It's true. And it's not just it's that anger and that psychological psychological issues that are prevailing in the country, and people who are upset about the Supreme Court opinions or about the January 6th hearings or whatever excuse. And what's interesting, Jen, in talking to some Homeland Security officials, they're noticing it isn't just one thing anymore. Now you're getting, a workplace shooter who's upset about his workplace, but also mad about, the abortion decision or some combination that really is just a sign of the psychological strain in the country.
Oh, that's interesting. That it's kind of like they had a beef, but it was something else that was sort of the straw, and it doesn't have to be related necessarily.
Exactly, and I think that may point to a bigger mental health crisis in the country, but law enforcement's noticing that nothing's monolithic anymore. It isn't just this one thing. There's a number of reasons for grievance, and in those grievances, with that easy access to weapons and almost being bombarded daily by images of violence, it isn't hard to go from flash to bang very, very quickly.
Aaron, thank you so much. Have a wonderful holiday weekend with your family, and I'm sure we'll talk again next week.
All right, you too, Jess.
All right, thanks. See you later. ABC's Aaron Kaczynski. And I think